The Nintendo Switch 2 rumor mill is about to get crazy. Let's talk about it. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games, and today I wanted to talk about the idea that the Switch 2 kind of rumor train hype cycle is really starting in full force, starting with an article that came out from Video Games Chronicle today. Now, of course, it's worth noting the rumor mill for this console started back in like 2021, ever since people were speculating on a Switch Pro back in those days, moving into 2023 with speculation of a Switch 2. It's not like this thing is just starting. However, the frequency of rumors and reports and speculation posts and people clamoring for Switch 2 on Twitter is about to hit just an absolute feverish pitch of excitement levels for pretty much everybody that is a Nintendo fan online. And I wanted to make this video to kind of talk about that, but also talk about this new article that kind of sprouted this idea in my head. There was an article from Video Games Chronicle citing a prediction that someone named Dr. Serkan Toto made, who is an industry analyst. And I've seen a lot of people running around on Twitter with this saying like, oh, this is actually like a rumor, it's a report. No, it was just a prediction, guys. We need to calm down. So I wanted to talk about that, but then also dive into what he said, because that is the talking points of Nintendo Twitter today. From now until the moment that Nintendo announces their next hardware, it is just going to increase, right? It's just going to be every day there's something new being posted online that you need to take with a grain of salt. It could be a fake rumor, it could be a real rumor, it could be baseless speculation, whatever it is. The amount of posts about this console, they're just going to keep multiplying for months on end until Nintendo does confirm it. Now, I personally think they will officially say something from like March to May, depending on when their investor Q&A comes out. I think that's early May normally, or at least it has been for the past couple years. I would expect some sort of official announcement or confirmation that there's new hardware being made around then. But even then, you know, if that's not the full reveal, if that's just them saying it to investors, then you have to go a few more months until they actually show the console, and people will be going crazy until then. But even once the console is revealed, there will be months and months of speculation leading up to the release of the console and what games will be on it. If you weren't around in 2015 and 2016, you know, I think that is like, I'm kind of nostalgic for it because it was just such a crazy time to be a Nintendo fan, but at the same time, there were just so many posts and fake rumors and fake industry analysts and rumor people, and it was just the amount of misinformation being spread in 2016 regarding the Switch, or as we knew at the time, the NX, was just unbelievable. You know, we had images like this popping up and people actually potentially believe them, and it's fun to look back to, sure, but you know, we need to be a little bit more critical this time, guys. We need to look and really think at all of these rumors as they come and try to pick which ones actually make the most sense. You know, I remember back then there were a lot of rumors, specifically in late 2016, after the console was announced, after the Switch was announced in October. There was a lot of software rumors, right, that ended up being complete BS. The two that stand out, of course, Pokemon Stars, and the second of which being, there was a rumor, I forget who exactly reported it, but it was, I believe, like a reputable source at the time. There was a report that GameCube games would be coming to Virtual Console, and that would have been announced in the January presentation. You know, so even the people that you think might be reputable, they can get things wrong. That's no, you know, shade on them. It happens. Sometimes sources are incorrect, but just be weary of stuff like that, right? Even if Tom Henderson or you know, Andy Robinson, all these, you know, people that typically report on Nintendo rumors, even if they do have a pretty good track record, there is room for error to be made over the next 12 months. With that said, I do want to talk about this new article from Video Games Chronicle. Andy Robinson posted it. However, he's pretty much just quoting something that Dr. Serkan Toto said in a GameIndustry.biz kind of prediction post that they make. I guess every year they do a kind of a post from all their analysts predicting something for the following year. So in this case, they were predicting stuff for 2024, and it's not just focused on Nintendo. There's a ton of other stuff regarding the industry in there. It's an interesting read for sure. However, let's just go and go straight to that article and read what Dr. Serkan Toto said. He said, quote, "The time is finally here for a Switch successor. Even though I can say a, quote, pro model actually did exist and certain developers were already working with the dev kits, I believe the next hardware will drop next year," so 2024, let me be clear about that. "I believe the next hardware will drop next year for $400. There is a high chance that games will cost more too, $70. The next system is also likely to be an iteration rather than a revolution. Nintendo might add some bells and whistles to the device, but it will be similar to the current Switch. And because there is Pokemon, and Pokemon is associated with handheld gaming, there is no way on earth Nintendo will drop the portability feature for their next big thing." And that's it, that's the quote. But people are running with this and saying it's a rumor based on like inside sources, and That's just not the case, you know? And I'm not saying anyone in particular is doing this. I'm just seeing a lot of posts in my own feed where they're reading this and taking it as a rumor versus a prediction. This is a prediction that Dr. Sirkin Toto made based on his analysis of the industry. So just keep that in mind moving forward. There's going to be a lot of predictions from people that aren't actually rumors based on what they've heard behind the scenes. With that being said, though, I do have to say this is a very milquetoast prediction. Everything he says here is, like, pretty obvious. Now, if you don't follow me, I actually do think the Switch 2 won't release until March 2025. I have a video coming out very soon about that, so stay tuned on the channel for that. But beyond that, beyond the actual release timing, most people think it's 2024, and that's fine. But the pricing, $400, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just naive, but I feel like everybody thought that. That's not really like a big news pop, right? I see all these people running with this on Twitter, and I'm just like, did you think it'd be priced differently? The Switch OLED is $360, and while I would assume that'll get a price drop, I feel like the Switch 2 pretty much has to be $400. He says that there's a high chance games will cost more too at $70. Yeah, Nintendo already released a $70 game. I would expect something like Metroid Prime 4 to probably continue that trend. And then finally, the next system is also likely to be an iteration rather than a revolution. Nintendo might add some bells and whistles to the device, but it will be similar to the current Switch. And then also, on top of that, Andy Robinson added in his own 2 cents, saying that it'll be similar to the DS to 3DS transition. Yeah, I thought that's what we all expected. I see so many people posting about this online, and I'm just like, yeah, that's what the next generation is. No one's expecting Nintendo to completely reinvent the wheel here. I think everybody was in agreement this thing would be a Switch that's more powerful. Maybe they do something quirky, right? Maybe they get a little crazy. Maybe it has dual screens. I would love if they brought back the folding design of the DS and 3DS, but it's going to be a Switch, right? It's probably going to have Joy-Cons. It's probably going to be dockable and undockable because that has been Nintendo's bread and butter, is the handheld market. So that's not going to go away. So saying the Switch 2 is going to be a transition similar to the DS to 3DS just doesn't really... That's kind of a non-statement. It's like, yeah, it's the next console following the Switch. It'll probably have Switch in the name. I don't know. Am I wrong? Were we not all on the same page here? I thought everybody agreed that this thing would probably be a pretty bare-bones successor, and games could likely be anywhere from like 50 to 70, depending on, you know, the quality of the game or the budget of the game. Like WarioWare, for example, is a $50 game right now. Games like Kirby are like $60, or Advance Wars Remake, and, you know, Skyward Sword and all that. But then the big budget Nintendo games like the new Zelda, the new Mario, the new Mario Kart, those are probably going to be $70. Am I off base here? Let me know in the comments below. Did anybody have a different, you know, idea of what this console was going to be? I really did think we were all kind of just on the same page in terms of what the Switch 2 will be in terms of being an iterative successor to the Switch. So yeah, I wanted to make this video talking about the idea that the rumor mill is really starting to kick into overdrive. I mean, it's only January 3rd, and we're already seeing reports like this blow up on Twitter, getting thousands of likes, and people are treating it like a rumor when it's a prediction. So just be weary of that. And I also wanted to talk about what was, once again, I want to clarify Dr. Sirkin Toto's prediction, because you can use that prediction as a jumping off point for a topic in a video, that's fine, but don't treat the man like a god or anything. He's just making a prediction. It's not like his word is law. Things could be different. He could be wrong about the price, the timing, the price of the games. That's fine, but the prediction itself is a little interesting to talk about. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. How do you feel that it is 2024? And I mean, if you were there for the NX, you know. you know how it's going to be for the next, like, 12 months, 6 months realistically until the thing is revealed. But even then, like I said, there will be games and more hardware details to be leaked and speculated. So it's going to be a crazy year for Nintendo fans and for Nintendo itself. I'm very excited as a content creator to cover it. I'm going to try to hold back on stuff like this, generally speaking, moving forward, right? If it's a rumor or a prediction from an analyst like this that doesn't hold much ground, I probably won't make a video on it like a lot of other people. But if it's something that I truly believe has a lot of stake in it and a lot of potential, or if it's just a really fun rumor, I will then cover it. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch news, reviews, coverage, all of that stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BotoxGames. Join the Discord that is linked down in the description. And until next time, folks, peace.